When'd you get sober?
And June 7, 2005.
And where?
Here in the Friendship Club in New Mexico, in Santa Fe.
So you just came into the Friendship Club under your own steam. You weren't thrown in by the law or anything?
No, actually, when I hit my bottom, they took me to the hospital, and then from the hospital, they told me that there was AA meetings. I didn't know anything about AA meetings or anything, and I went to the Friendship Club, the old Friendship Club, and that's what they were Spanish meetings.
When you say hospital, was it a rehab or were you in for like?
No, at the hospital, at the San Vicente Hospital here in Santa Fe.
So you hit bottom pretty hard. So I was like, you were in for alcohol-related damage to your body, that kind of thing?
Oh, absolutely. I drink and I use cocaine for 30 days, nonstop. No showering, no nothing. It's just I closed the windows and it was just me and trying to kill myself.
So get it with the cocaine. That was the last straw for me. Okay, that was not intentional. The last straw, but yeah, that was the end of the road for me. And yeah, I don't think we've really talked about that. We did have one episode where we talked about Cocaine Anonymous out in Los Angeles, but yeah, it's a huge part of my story. That stuff has destroyed my life. But unlike you, I didn't give up. I got dragged out of my little closet and put in a hospital. Yeah. What did they say when you went in?
That I was kind of like, my brother kind of like saved my life because I was, dehydration. I was like 110 pounds. Yeah. I was in this really bad condition, physical.
Sure, sure. Well, that's one thing about, some people have so much money that they can't run through their money. They come from family money or they're just wealthy. And so they're kind of untouchable there. But you keep this stuff up long enough and the health risks, nobody gets to escape that.
That's right.
It's, what do they say? Death, jails, or institutions. That's,
exactly.
If you got addiction, which I definitely do.
Yes.
So I was brought up not to talk about age, but how long had you been drinking and drugging alcoholically when you went in?
I think it was like 16 years.
Yeah.
I started drinking when I was 11, and 11 all the way to 31.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a long, long time.
Drinking.
And when I came to America, that's when someone introduced me to cocaine, and that was a great combination for me. And boy, it was just a nightmare. But at the time, I was thinking it was great, because I couldn't see anything else except drugs and alcohol, and that's what I did. Yep.
So your teens and 20s were in a blur of being high.
Definitely, like I was in school. I was in Mexico, and I was doing my nursing degree, and I was drunk for the most part. I mean, I didn't even know how I graduate, but it was just drinking the whole time.
Right. Well, it's legal, so that's one dodge we have. Is you can get urine tested and not get flagged if you just drinking alcohol.
Yes.
You graduated nursing school in Mexico?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I graduated in Mexico, but like I said, I came to America, and then I came illegal at the time, and I just focused I crossed the river illegal 3 times, and it was just...
Did you say 2 times?
3 times.
3 times. Okay. I'm going to need a little more information there. What happened?
Well, what happened was, after I graduated, my graduation as a nursing in Mexico, all my family, they work here in America. Uh-huh. So I was the last one in Mexico. And then my mother told me, you have to come to America and blah, blah, blah. So I came, and then I didn't have papers. So when we were crossing the river, they told me, we have to swim and we have to cross the river. And as an alcoholic, I was unable to say my truth. And I said, how am I going to tell them? And I don't know how to swim. And, but of course,
hell.
I was drunk. I was drunk when we crossed the river. And it was like, they said, well, we have, in my mind, it was like, wow, like it's going to be intense and how am I going to survive? So as we crossing the river, the funny part was the water, it was only up to my ankle.
Oh, brother. Oh, bro. Okay.
And then it was like, I crossed one time and then the officer were waiting for...
Where were you?
I was in Juarez.
Uh-huh.
In
All right.
Juarez.
Yeah.
I was trying to pass from...
Across from El Paso.
El Paso,
Yeah.
exactly. And then I attempted the second time, of course, you're drunk again and, I was unsuccessful to do that. The third time
Well, what happened?
I got caught.
You got found. And
Yeah.
Did they just point back and go back where you came from?
Yes, right away they take us back to from the border from El Paso to Juarez.
No, I don't know. Did they put you in a vehicle and drive you back?
Yes.
Or they just okay.
Yes. And the second time we have to walk from the border from El Paso to Juarez, and it's not really that long, but that's what they do. And
So hang on. I don't know about this stuff. So they put you in a van and they
Yes.
drove you a mile, 100 miles. How far did they?
No, it was like maybe 3 miles.
3 miles.
Yeah.
And opened the door and said,
And they said like, go back to Mexico, and then we try it again, and same thing, And the third time I sobered up, and I asked my higher power, and I said, I promise you,
in here in Santa Fe, you sobered up.
yes,
Yeah.
here in Santa Fe, but not right away. Okay, so I came to America, and then it was easy for me to work 3 jobs, and I really have money, it was easy for me to provide, whatever I need.
But you left your nursing career behind, though.
Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
okay.
I didn't care. All my focus was alcohol and drugs. That's it. I didn't care about, be successful. I just forgot about it. Came to United States illegal. Well, you have to work under the table,
Did you have kids?
Yes, I did. I did have a daughter at the time. She came here before me. She was 5 years old when she came with my mother. And
They wound up in Santa Fe? Or?
she was born in Mexico.
But I mean, you said she came to the States before you did, or maybe I heard you wrong.
Yes. So my daddy came first with my mom and my brother and sister, and then I was they live in Mexico until I finished my degree as a nurse.
Okay. How long did that take, nursing school?
3 years.
Well, it was hard.
3 years, and it was like I said, unfortunately, all my time in school I was drunk, but I was successful to pass and
Right.
But I didn't know how I did it because I was, for the most part, I was drunk.
Look, here's my theory. Our 20s, we're so strong in our 20s. It's like, I don't try that stuff at this age. Ain't happening. I'm older than you, but holy mackerel. Okay, so were you able to straighten out your paperwork? And
Yes, and like I said, my sobriety date is June 7 of 2005, and until I came in the United States, and I drink for another maybe 4 more years, and then until I hit bottom. Then I went to the hospital. I went to start, AA meetings, and I was involved in the community, and I kind of like get myself back, where I was before, and then I decided to go back to school. I start.
Wow.
I went to
Okay.
from scratch, ABC 1, 2, 3. I mean, like it was like from scratch. I started
really?
with the language, yes, and then I started going to school. I was able to finish my GD, and I think it's in 2011. I graduated. I got a certificate from the college for 2 years. I got my residency in 2012, and
Fantastic.
and then in 2019 I became a citizen. And
congratulations and thank you. Wow, wow, what a story.
It was intense. It was something that definitely I can say Alcoholics Anonymous bring my life back.
Right.
And my higher power, which I call God, he had something in store for me, and then I was willing to go any length today, for the grace of God, I have my own house. I have, being a citizen, being part of the community, and it's just
You're saving
fantastic.
lives.
Safe, and it's just great.
So, wow, a lot there. Were you one and done? Did you come into your first 12-step meeting and that was it for you? Or did you relapse a few times? What was that part of the story?
No. Actually, when I came and, in June 2005, I was just like, I asked higher power and I said, please, take me with you because I don't want to have this life. I don't want to live like this anymore, or give me a second chance. And when I started, having more acknowledged or having more information about my disease, I was able to day by day promise to my God until this morning that I will not drink just one day at a time. And I haven't relapsed. Thanks God, like no alcohol and or substance or anything like that, I just believe that my relationship with my higher power is so strong that I believe in him, only in him, because I know he's the one helped me to take this obsession of thinking of drinking or using, for me.
I'm sorry to interrupt. You used the word information, that when you came into recovery, you got information that helped. Did I hear that right?
Yes.
And are you talking about from people like me who have never set foot in a medical school, or are you talking about professionally in the hospitals and so on? What do you mean you got information?
No, when I said information, it was like, I didn't even know that I was an alcoholic.
Right.
I didn't know because for the 16 days that I had acting in my alcoholism, I thought that was a normal life. I thought that's what people do, until it didn't work for me anymore.
You're referring to that last bender you went on? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then when they told me, what was about alcoholism and what was my disease, and then
people at meetings told you, or what?
Yes,
yeah.
People in the meetings and the doctors, of course. When I went to the hospital, they told me that I have the disease of alcohol.
Well, here's something. I went to a doctor for an injury. I think I'd hurt my hand. Something like that. He was talking about getting me a prescription. Mm-hmm. And I said, do me a favor, anti-inflammatory and all that's great, but don't give me anything that I can feel, because I'm a recovering addict and I would just rather not, risk that if we can help it. And this doctor kind of put his pen and clipboard down and said, really? And I said, yeah. And he goes, can I ask you something? This is a doctor. And I said, well, yeah, sure. And he said, okay. And he goes, you've probably heard this a lot, but I swear to God, I'm not kidding. I've got this friend. It's usually code for it's me. And he goes, but it really, truly, it is a friend. I got a friend who's a fellow physician, and he is fucking up. He's going to lose everything. He has so much to lose, and he just can't quit drinking. And how does it work? What do you do? And so we talked about recovery for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I had Texas insurance at the time, which means no insurance. And he said, all right, thank you. This doctor, he goes, you've been really helpful. And he goes, if they try to charge you out there, come get me, because this one's on the house. He fixed I had a broken thumb or something like that. And he not broken, but injury. Anyway, so my point being, now I'm sober 31 years. This was a long time ago, 20 years ago. It's my understanding that there's really no built-in requirement for people in medical school to learn very much about addiction.
No.
And so he came out of that. Now, this guy knows the things you know about the human body and chemistry and so on, but he didn't know anything about catching meetings and the obsession of the mind, where, his friend is about to lose his medical license and is about to have to go whatever, be a landscaper if he doesn't quit drinking, and he can't quit drinking, and he knows it's ruining his life. Why? Well, you come to AA and you find out it's because our brains are a little funny.
Yes.
We have this physical deal that normal people don't have, where if I have a couple of drinks, the monsters awake.
Yes, absolutely.
A normal person doesn't have that.
Yes. I think for me, definitely I say, Alcoholics Anonymous saved my life. They brought me to the center of my, well-being. And I'm so grateful to be here because, we're going to face life, we're going to, regardless about, what's going on or how many times we have to face life. And one of the things that I would like to share with you is I lost my daughter. 4 years ago. And she was a heroin addict. She was, coming to the meetings. She was in recovery centers, in and out, in and out. And unfortunately, she couldn't make it.
Right.
And they took her to jail, and they found her hanging in jail. And I went to recognize the body, and it was the most horrible experience that I have, and only for the grace of God and this beautiful community, I was able to say, okay, God, it was meant to be. I don't think you give me this and this herb, but I just ask you, please don't leave me right now. And the community show up, everybody in the miracle of this, Sherman, to be honest, is more than grateful, and said, I didn't drink.
Right.
That's a miracle. For me, not to drink through this horrible experience, losing my daughter from this addiction, it was something that I'm more than grateful to be in this community. Through that event, I went to the doctor and they said, well, we have this medication for this and this and that. And I said, no, I'm an addict. I cannot take any substance that they will take me for my reality.
They wanted to give you some sort of tranquilizer or something. Mm-hmm. I see.
So I just came to the meetings. I hold in my group. I talk to people. I talk to my sponsor. I ask God. And I think for me today is I ask God to be a service to other women who, we lost our daughters or son. I have the privilege to say we don't have to drink. That's the last option for me.
It won't help.
No. And then, just to be a service today, it's a gift for me.
Can I ask you a little more about your recovering from that trauma? Is that okay?
Sure.
I have your permission?
Sure.
4 years ago, is that what you said?
Yes.
I'm a dad, so I'm a little... I'm hurting for you. Thank you for opening your heart like that. There's a thing we say in recovery: anything you go through, talk about it, and somebody in the room will have gone through it. Mm-hmm. If you're in a recovery meeting and there's 50 people in the room, and it's really hard to come up with something that somebody there doesn't have experience going through sober and staying sober.
Yes.
Did that happen for you?
Yes.
And can you tell me in any detail what that was like? Because I don't know how you...
Well, I think, when I was, after I came back with my daughter's ashes here in Santa Fe because she killed herself in Kansas. I remember when I brought the ashes, the next day I was waiting for the early bird meeting, and I came and I shared what happened with Sudi. Her name was Sudi. It was just the support and the love and the compassion that I have from the rooms. It was just I was not alone in this process. And I think, it was I was out of my mind. I remember it was so much pain that I was exposed, but I was just able to talk with the people and my sponsor. It was, this person really saved my life and loved me enough and hold me with this pain. And I think it was every day for 30 days, I was just coming to the meetings and share. Every day I shared, and I was in tears, and I was just okay, God, it's just me and you. And
did you ever think about drinking?
I think when I recognized her body at the funeral, I was able to feel that, I want something, to take away this pain. All I remember when I was in front of my my daughter's dead body, I touched her hair, and I remember that God was telling me, she's with me and I will take care of you. That's what I hear from my higher power that day. I just keep my relationship with him very close, and every evening it was the hardest time not to receive a text for her, and that I know that she's never going to call me again, and it was very, very painful. And I believe only because of the program, because of the people, I was able to move forward and not drink, and just face.
So thank you. So you came to meetings like every day,
Yes,
and talked about it every day. When did it get a little better? It had to have gotten a little better.
Yeah, it was not until like about 6 months that I was feeling this release. That one day I was sitting in my living room and I was just crying. I was just tired. I remember I talked to my sponsor and he told me, and I said, you know what, Maria, it's time for you to let it go. Give your daughter to you, God, and you need to take care of yourself. So I prayed, I meditated, and I was able to release my daughter to my higher power.
Were you working?
I was working.
Yeah.
Yes, I was working. I was just able to go to work and then come back and be under my blankets the entire day, and the next day I was doing.
Was work a welcome distraction? Was that a little time out from your feelings or something?
Yes, definitely, because I'm a CNA. I work in this place where we take care of elderly people.
Okay.
And I guess for me that was something that really helped me in my spirit to see that I was a service to these people that they need help.
You needed.
Yes, definitely. They were a huge part of my healing, my residents at that time.
Look, it's a simple thing, but it's so true that when you're feeling terrible, help somebody who needs help and you'll both feel better. The pain subsided a little 6 months after the event, and here we are 4 years out.
Yes.
Where would you put yourself? Are you kind of the person you were 5 years ago? Will you never be? What's it like?
Well, I think today what I feel is more. I ask higher power to be a service, and in this community, I'm at peace. I talk to my daughter in spirit, trying to help other people, and I focus in my sobriety. There's some days that I feel down, especially on her birthday and holidays and stuff like that. But it's I really don't think we're never going to be healed where we feel in our heart, because that's something that's I don't think is going to happen. But it's manageable. It's manageable. I know my daughter is with me in the spirit. I know my daughter is watching after me every time. And, one of the things that I like to share in the meetings when it's like in order for me to be honor my daughter's life, it's for me to stay sober one day at a time. And I ask God every morning to remind me, that I have to be a maximum service of him and whatever it's in this path that until he called me, I will try to be a service.
Has anyone ever approached you after a meeting is over and said, I just went through it, can we talk?
Yes, definitely. One of the times I was able to be one of the speakers in the International Woman, I think in 2011 here in Santa Fe.
Really?
And there was, 1,000, almost 2,000 women in there, and I was able to share my story. And there was like this huge line, and people that want to hug me and say, "Maria, thank you so much." I mean, it was the best gift the program has given me to hug so many women in that meeting, and there were 3 women that they lost their kids for the same reason, and then the 3 of them, they drink. And I said, Maria, how do you do this? And I said, it was not me. It was my higher power that I have faith in him and I believe in him. He's the only one, because I believe in him, because he's the one remove my obsession of drinking
Right.
and drugging. So I knew that was him, that he was going to heal me, and he still healed me until this day. So it's just like incredible when people, when I share my story, people come to me and say, can we talk? And I'm able to share, my spirit, extending hope with them. And it's just a good feeling for me. It heals me every time someone comes to me and asks me how I'm able to move forward. Mm-hmm. And the most important thing, I think, is like, I'm at peace. I'm okay with myself. She's finally sober. She's not suffering because at the end of her life, it was really bad to see my own child in that situation. So somehow I thank you to higher power to have the decision to take care her own child and give me the strength to move forward.
So what if you wake up on a Friday morning like today and you have the blues? Do you do something for fun? What do you do to change your energy?
I like to do Zumba. I go to
you do what?
Zumba. Zumba, it's a dancer where we move all our bodies.
Can't help you there. All right.
It's a exercise where you jump with your dance, you move your entire body, and then that makes me a lot of joy.
You go to a dance class? Is that what it is?
Yes, yeah.
Like a studio, and they put on loud music.
And I love music, and we're just jumping.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Good one.
Yes.
That's a good answer.
Yes, and then I have my 3 dogs. I have 3 Shih Tzus, and I walk with them pretty much 45 minutes, and that's a really joy for me and my dogs. They're very happy about it.
I'm all about the dog therapy. Yes. I'm with you.
Yes.
I got a 75-pound sort of pit bull that just absolutely owns me.
Yeah.
I love your answers. So we're of one mind on the dogs. I cannot help you in the dance department. I got nothing there. But I do believe in fun. Do you? Having fun?
Oh, no, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's just, that's my priority is go to Zumba. And I also I like to dance. I love to dance. I always love to dance.
Okay.
And then once a week, I go to Albuquerque and I dance and I have fun. And it's just something that I have permission to myself to go. Even it's, sometimes it's bars and there's alcohol and whatever. But for me, I just go there and I dance. I do my business and I go home.
Same. I'm a guitar player. It's my heart, and I did it, my whole life. Still do it when I can, and that's where the live music is in bars, and it has nothing to do with being around that stuff. So I'm with you on that. We do 30-minute episodes here, and I told you it was going to go fast. And now I understand why our mutual friend said, Sherman, you got to get Maria on your show. I'm like, yeah, sure. Friday's free. Yeah, you have absolutely. Boy, howdy, am I going to give you a hug next time I see you walking through the door. Thank you for being a nurse. Thank you for taking care of those rotten dogs and for being there to help others that come behind us with the dark things we go through.
Yes.
Are the things we have that can help others and get their attention. Because now nobody's going to look at you and go, you never been through anything. If you'd suffered the way I suffered, it's like, really? Okay, let's talk. Our stories get the attention of real alcoholics like us.
Absolutely.
Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you so much for having me, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my way of life today through Alcoholics Anonymous.
This show is heard everywhere, and so you have no idea how somebody in their car thousands of miles away might be affected by what you had to say today. So God bless you, and thank you for that.
Thank you.